Hello, and welcome to episode 71 of Inside the Video Store. I'm Dave Wain. I've never told you that, but that is me. I think it says it in the text below, but just in case you didn't know, why would you? That is me indeed. I am the owner and curator of Snips Movies, which is a real life rental store in Wirral, a little peninsula just sandwiched between North Wales and Liverpool. And we're one of the last movie rental stores in the UK. I believe there's one other. Well, in fact, I know there's one other. 20th Century Flicks in Bristol. So we're the two hardcore, into it movie rental stores left in Britain. There are a couple of also-rans, kind of maybe older gentlemen, just hanging on there with a assortment of DVDs. But yeah, we're the last two who are kind of going at it, which is sad, to be honest. I mean, I was only speaking to someone recently. Oh, it was a filmmaker um, who contacted me with a proposition that him and another filmmaker would like to open like a rental store slash cafe slash thing in Cardiff, and he just wanted to know the logistics about the profitability and stuff like that. So it's good to hear from people like that who are genuinely thinking about opening somewhere like this, because it would be wonderful. Like, people would say to me, "Oh yeah, but you'd hate competition, wouldn't you?" No, I wouldn't really. I would love there to be a movie rental store in every major city in the country. That would absolutely make me thrilled, because there should be. The reason for Snips existing isn't for some kind of vanity project. It is to ensure that films, and a wide variety of them, are available for as many people as possible for a very low price. That's the only reason. And it's vital that we keep films and physical media in circulation so that people can rent films that otherwise they would have no chance of seeing in any capacity. I mean, we had the situation. Did I tell you about the situation we had with Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels? I don't think I did. Yeah, Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels is not streaming on any platform in the UK, which is wild. Surely one of the major touchstones of British cinema history in the last 30 years, and you can't stream it, which is shocking, really. I mean, the number of people that have been in, to me, kind of disposing of their collections over the last number of years um, is on the rise, and it's surprising how many of those people have had Lock, Stock in their collection. Not one of my favorite films, but to them, it must have meant something because they bought it. And here they are disposing of it because they're under the impression that whenever they go to watch it, it will be inevitably on Netflix or Prime or wherever, but it's not. And that's, in one hand, it's sad, but on the other hand, it makes me want to do a little dance with my middle fingers raised to say, well, look, why did you do that? Why did you dispose of something essential to your fabric? Why did you something that meant so much to you? I can't understand it. I can't understand it. I know people have situations where sometimes you're a bit short of cash, and some things need to raise a bit of collateral for you. I know sometimes you maybe move in with someone and you don't have the same taste, so there's a compromise. So you get rid of some of your stuff and they get rid of some of their stuff, which is completely moronic, but that's what happens sometimes, I believe. And maybe in situations where you may be moving into a smaller place, so you need to downsize. But still, prioritize. Buy a single bed instead of a double bed so you can have more storage room for your DVDs and Blu-rays. But it's interesting. It's interesting, but it is only the beginning, really, of an era that I predict will see mountains of amazing films unavailable. So that is the importance of this place. How long we'll be here for, I don't know. I hope it's for quite some time. I've been here since 1976, so a couple more years I'm sure wouldn't kill us. Maybe it would. But yeah, it would be good to keep going and have this as a resource for people to see more films and a greater variety of films, because that's the danger, isn't it? That's the danger where we stop having a variety of films and we just end up being funneled into very predictable and generic movies from a recent era, and we don't look back. That's a depressing start to the show, isn't it? Anyway, here I am sitting in a video store. That's the main thing. What have we got today? Well, after last week's, mountain of 67 films, thankfully I only have 90 new arrivals this week. Yeah, it's true, 90 new arrivals, which is nuts. But thankfully about 30 of those are in 2 box sets. So yeah, there's a mountain of stuff to look through, and it will take an inordinate amount of time. I'll try and be as quick as possible so it's as painless as possible for you. But there's loads of stuff in. Some of it is downright filth. Some of it is downright shoddy, and some of it is among the greatest films ever made. But that's the beauty of a place like this, because it has that variety. It can, it's like, I told you about Jude, didn't I? Who rented Jean Dielmont. Hasn't watched it yet. He rented it for his 20th birthday. Don't know if you remember, a couple episodes ago. Rented it for his 20th birthday. Wanted to watch that film. Big film. Lots of acclaim. He said, Dave, just give me a couple more nights on that, but can I get a couple more films before, to go with it? So I'm like, yeah, what do you want to take? I said, I'm going to take Evil Bong. Is that all right? So he rented Evil Bong and Chantal Ackerman's Jean Dielmont. Evil Bong, Jean Dielmont. It's brilliant. That's, imagine watching Netflix and seeing the credits go up for something, and they would never suggest Jean Dielmont to you in a month of Sundays, nor would you ever get pointed in the direction of Evil Bong. For good reason, perhaps, but still. So there we go. Let's crack on, because, God, waffle. And thankfully, it is a slightly reduced week of new arrivals. Thank the Lord. It is it's kind of the 5th week of the month, isn't it? Last week was the big week for new arrivals. This week, it's more muted, but it's muted in a pleasing way. I'm feeling a little hoarse today. You have to excuse me. It's just off camera. Final Destination Bloodlines is the big film of the week. The 6th entry in the franchise, I do believe, which is nuts. It's been a while, though, hasn't it? It's been a while since the last one. This one did gangbusters at the cinema, which is very cool indeed. I think did it take more money than any of them on its opening weekend? Something like that. But yeah, it's done good business, so I'm presuming we will see several more Final Destination movies in the years to come. Also, of course, known for the last on-screen appearance of Tony Todd, which is a big shame. But yeah, that is Final Destination Bloodlines, which I expect to rent exceedingly well. Next up, also on 2 Blues and a DVD, is Until Dawn, based on a PlayStation game from 2015. I think Larry Fessenden had something to do with it, did he not? Might have made it up. But yeah, this is the film adaptation of that PlayStation game, survivalist horror film. Looks quite unique and original, to be honest. So yeah, that is Until Dawn, another one of this week's big guns. It's kind of horror-themed week, in all honesty. I don't know why, last week in July. Although, we must bow down to this one. It is When Evil Lurks. I don't know if you're familiar with Damien Rugner, Argentinian filmmaker. His last film, which was called Terrified, think it was 2017. It's one of my go-to recommendations for people if they like a good foreign language horror movie. It was, it was called Terrified, but it was genuinely terrifying. And this is equally as good. When Evil Lurks, set in a small Argentinian town. I think I wrote on my Letterboxd review. Oh, and thank you if you followed me on Letterboxd this week. It's nice to share your company. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. Anyway, I wrote on my Letterboxd review this morning that there are images in this film that will be ingrained on my brain for eternity because it's bleak, it's depressing, it's repugnant, and it's a wonderful horror film. I thoroughly recommend it. As always, well, with his last film, slightly slower pace, but just yeah, it's fantastic. It really is a genuinely good film. That's When Evil Lurks, the new film by Damien Rugner. Second Sight released that for a premium price as well, for a standard Blu-ray. Premium price, 19 quid. Jesus. Next up, Jane Austen, Wrecked My Life, as she often does. Filmed by Laura Piani. French origin, I think, but I think it's bilingual, part English, part French. A traditional romance. There's one genre which is somewhat absent from video stores these days. Comedies and romance, they just don't sell physical media, so they tend to be confined to Amazon and such like. But it's good to have one of these films out. It's been put out by Icon, and yeah, that is Jane Austen, Wrecked My Life. The Monkey. Oh, sorry, it's The Jolly Monkey. The Asylum doing their thing and producing a mockbuster of The Monkey. Yeah, interesting in appearance. Not as sinister as the one that the Stephen King adaptation that came out a few weeks back, but still, I'm sure it'll be quite something. But hey, well done to the Asylum for keeping going, because yeah, not easy in this marketplace. Jolly Monkey, Asylum. Only 2 boutiques. We have from 88 Films another Cat 3 film. One of the most notorious, in all honesty. It's called Her Vengeance and stars Pauline Wong as a young woman hunting down the vermin who brutally assaulted her. Ears will be sliced off, acid will be thrown, and funeral directors will be kept very busy indeed. That's a terrible line. Yeah, but that is Her Vengeance, out this week on special edition, a Blu-ray from 88 Films. Lovely hard box with a slip, as always. Very nice indeed. And similarly, presentation for this, it is Zombie Flesh Eaters. It's one of my favourite films of all time. Not really one for upgrading from Blu-ray to 4K, but when it comes to Zombie Flesh Eaters, I thought, yeah, let's do that, because it is just a wonderful, wonderful film. One of those rare films that you have on video, then you have on DVD, then you have on Blu-ray, now you have on 4K. So, 4 different incarnations. And it's great fun. It is great fun. If you've never seen it, it's just one of the best zombie films ever. Italian style, with a fantastic soundtrack as well, which is just really, really makes the film. Yeah, love it. Great addition as well. Absolutely stacked with special features. Absolutely stacked with special features, and it's a great artwork, and it's a nice looking addition as well. Zombie Flesh Eaters out this week from Arrow Video, and they are the newbies. They are the newbies. Good week. So we'll get those out on the shelf tomorrow. Have a quick look at what went out on loan this week, which is an assortment, to put it mildly. Yeah, I like some of these. I mean, Umbrellas of Cherbourg, this obviously came out on Criterion a few weeks back, but like I said to you in the past, one of the beauties of having these dual format criterions is that you get 2 bites at the cherry. And therefore, nobody really will take both the 4K UHD and the Blu-ray, because it's, unless the Blu-ray comes stacked with special features and the UHD is bare bones. But this is one unique occurrence where a customer rented the 4K UHD last Thursday, and then someone rented the Blu-ray a couple of days ago. So 2 copies of Umbrellas of Cherbourg out at the same time, which is wonderful to see. Wonderful. One of my customers, Dylan, who we'll mention later again, is currently going through Abel Ferrara's filmography in chronological order. That's why I love my customers, because they have missions. They have missions. And he's up to Dangerous Game, which is a really interesting film, I think unfairly maligned by a lot of people, critics. But it's interesting. Harvey Keitel, Madonna. Yeah, but I said to Dylan, I said, look, when you get up to Our Christmas, you're going to have a tough time hunting some of those Ferrara films down. I mean, I got a copy of New Rose Hotel on German Blu-ray, but I think Our Christmas is one of those films I've never been able to source from anywhere. I'll have to have another look tonight when I get home, see if I can find it. But yeah, fewer Ferrara. I've got a lot of Ferrara films, probably about 25. But there's a couple from that era, post-96, where he just stopped getting distribution. That I must try and track down. I'll have to look at that later, because the landscape is changing, I think, with Abel Ferrara. I think more people are appreciating some of the films he was making in that era. So yeah, have a look at that. Milo rented out for the first time in a while. Fallon rented this because he likes Vincent Schiavelli. I think he has a Vincent Schiavelli t-shirt, because that is a window inside the mind of my customers. My customers have Vincent Schiavelli t-shirts. I mean, yeah. Can you find me a greater assembly of customers than that? That is wonderful, isn't it? But Milo is a decent little horror. I liked it. It's one of those horrors that's filmed in Eastern Europe that's pretending to be America. And I don't mind that, but I like the way Eastern European horror looks. Like those David DeCoteau films they did for Full Moon, Talisman, and Prison of the Dead, and what else was there? Totem. They're all filmed in Romania. And you can tell they're filmed in Romania, but they kind of look quite unique. Witch House as well, Witch House 2. I like that vibe, that cold, sparse, concrete-laden backdrop. It's interesting. I've got lots of TV series in the back, which I think you've seen on previous episodes if you're a long-time viewer. But it's rare they get rented because I can't fit them out, and some of them just probably wouldn't be worth sticking out anyway. But one of my customers has been going through, as you know, Stephen King movie adaptations. And he's getting to the dregs, not the dregs, but the also rans. And he said, asked if he could rent Tales from the Dark Side of 1, because there's a Stephen King story on there. And of course, it's in the back, and it's great to see Tales from the Dark Side being rented out. It didn't, when I had a TV series section just down there on the left, no one really gravitated towards it, but it's good. I cherry picked a number of Tales from the Dark Side episodes last year sometime, I think it was, and they're not bad at all. They've aged quite well. They're pretty cool. One of my customers was in at the weekend renting Greg Araki films, and they rented the Teenage Apocalypse trilogy. Totally up, Nowhere, and the Doom Generation, and I've held these films up probably on about a dozen occasions on the 70 or so episodes of this vidcast. And always I say the same thing. I said, come on, this is crazy. We need these Greg Araki films on Blu-ray. America have this gorgeous Criterion edition. We need that here, please, because these are some of the most popular films I have in the store. They're renting out every other week, and they're renting out to a demographic that is far younger than me. And it's a shame that they're having to watch them on, a DVD that perhaps has seen better days. But annoying. But at least I know some of those aren't streaming. At least they do have access. So, small comfort. Jay rented Taxi. First time it's been out for a while. A good little French film, isn't it? It's good fun. Exciting. Produced by Luc Besson, I think. Was it? Yeah. Good fun. Spawned a load of sequels, didn't it? What was it? 4, 5 sequels? I think there's 5 sequels, an American remake, which wasn't that great. Was it Queen Latifah? I forget. Anyway, it's up there. And I love these Taxi movies. I think they're great fun. There's a French Blu-ray out, but unfortunately the French Blu-ray comes with French subtitles. But it'd be great. I think one of the boutiques could do well in releasing the Taxi films on a nice Blu-ray compilation, a nice little set. I think they'd do very well indeed. It's a great, exciting franchise. Night Train Murders rented out. Going to mention Jude's name again. He said, I've seen these 88 films, these Italian collection. And because they're numbered, I'm going to rent every single one and begin at number 1. That's his intention. So that will take him 88 weeks. So the first one, number 1, is Night Train Murders. A very grisly film. I hope he doesn't watch it with his girlfriend. By Aldo Lado. Great film. It's just come out in 4K UHD as well. Looking fantastic, and it is it's a wicked film. I don't mean that as being like the cool wicked. I mean like the nasty wicked film. But it's great. It's just compelling and wonderfully shot, and excellent stuff. Night Train Murders. And finally, in the on loan section this week, we have The Howling. Yes, after my Howling campaign a few weeks back, saying why are people not renting the Howling movies like ever? Finally, someone came in and they rented the Howling 1 and the Howling 2 in one fell swoop. So yeah, that's great to see. And hopefully it'll start a trend. Hopefully we'll have the Howling on loan every week. And the slightly strange sequels. We shall see. But yeah, that's cool. I think I might rent one tonight, actually. I've got a spare slot. Yeah, Howling 4, I reckon. Yeah, so there's the films that are on loan this week. It's a nice blend, isn't it? Nice blend. Good. Right, what do we got next? We're going to do some new arrivals. We'll do these, because I can whip through the... Oh, geez, I forgot about these. I can whip through these. I forgot about these. Yeah, God, that would have been... Yeah. Excuse me. Yeah. You might want to fast forward this bit. I've been on a whim. Spending spree at GR Bookwalter's MakeFlix.com. I've had my eye on these for years and years. Months and months. Because I love micro-budget cinema. It's always appealed to me. I've written about it many, many times on the schlockpit.com. And I believe that micro-budget filmmakers deserve a place in a movie rental store. I think it's the least we can do, because that's the way it used to be. You used to go to a video store in the 80s, I believe, or 90s, and you would find, shot on video stuff next door to, I don't know, a Robin Williams movie. And you would find ultra low budget movies, horror movies on the shelf with Poltergeist. And that's the way it should be. We shouldn't have some kind of hierarchy where we say, oh, no, nothing below this budget can come in here. So that's why it's important to me. But anyway, I'm a big fan of the director Joe Sherlock. Joe's a really nice guy. He's out of Oregon. Quick story. Joe sent me an email about 5 years ago, and he just said, "What's your address?" And I said, "Oh, I'm in England, Joe." I gave him my address, and then 2 weeks later, a box of 12 of his films turned up, and I said, "Joe, what are you doing?" He said, "Well, I want my films in a video store." And it just really hit me that it's so important to people. It really is. To a filmmaker, it's so important to be represented in a video store where someone can stumble across your films who has never heard of you and rent them. So yeah, we got in 4 of Joe's films this week. I got in his latest film, which is The Haunting of Heather Black, which is a nice little supernatural film, to be honest, with quite an alarming ending. But yeah, it's really well made. Joe produces, edits, writes, and directs everything himself. He's a makeup guy as well, so he does all the makeup. And yeah, it's a good little movie. Great lead performance by Kate Schmidt as well. So actually came out in America today, I do believe, according to Joe. So really pleased to have a heads up on that. That's The Haunting of Heather Black on Blu-ray. It's got a great making of featurette on that from Joe as well. Video diary, 45 minutes, which is great. I mean, these are nuts. These are the craziest films I think I may have seen in my entire life. Strange Things Happen at the Weird House is just truly, truly bizarre. Um, Joe likes. There's no body shaming when it comes to Joe's films, which I admire. I admire that as a filmmaker. In a filmmaker, there's no body shaming. There's no, size 10 models, stick thin, pneumatic boobs, all that kind of thing. Joe is all for everyday people. So in his films are ladies of a certain build, and that's terrific. That is absolutely terrific. And for the first 40 minutes of Strange Things Happen at the Weird House, it is just pretty much an orgy between a multitude of women. Quite, just I was watching this on Friday night. I was tired. I was thinking, I'll put Joe's film on. It's only 70 minutes, and I'm watching this. I'm like, what in the name of holy cow is going on? And then it turned into an alien movie. And it's just the nuttiest thing you've ever seen in your life. But it's great fun. And he made a sequel, Strange Things Happen at the Weird House 2, which is similarly utterly mad. But bless him for doing things like this, because no one else in the world is making movies like this, which makes him a really unique individual. So we celebrate that. We celebrate uniqueness and individuality and diversity, and just odd people. We celebrate odd people because odd people are cool, and you couldn't get odder than Odder Noggins. What a great link! Odder Noggins is the sequel to Odd Noggins. And of course, it's an interdimensional sci-fi about strange experiments. Yeah, what can you say? But yeah, I haven't seen this one. I haven't seen the sequel. First one was quite something. I quite liked it. It's gone back about a decade though when he made it. But yeah, that is the latest from Joe Sherlock, a genuinely fascinating filmmaker. In the realm of microbudgets, we're on to Mark Polonia. Got 3 of his Empire of the Apes films. Mark did a spin-off of Planet of the Apes called Empire of the Apes, and it spawned 3 sequels. Only 2 have arrived so far. We have Revolt of the Empire of the Apes and Revenge of the Empire of the Apes, to go with obviously the original Empire of the Apes. And yeah, they're good fun. They will go in my Mark Polonia section, which is just above my head. This got recommended to me by Jake. It's another one distributed by Makeflix. It's the new film from James L. Edwards. You might know James L. Edwards if you've ever seen any J.R. Bookwalter films. Great little actor. Good filmmaker as well. And this is his new film. It's called Trivial. Called Trivial. So yeah, it's very cool indeed. I have many things on my mind. I have many things on my mind right now, and these are they. 6 of them. Things. Um, things. Not the 89 things. These are the 93 things. This is co-directed by Jay Wolfell and Dennis Devine. Things are anthologies. So in each anthology, tends to be different directors. But yeah, they're good little anthologies with quite unique stories. All mega low budget. We have Things 3 by Ron Ford. We have Things 4, again by Dennis Devine. Things 5 is Joe Sherlock. Things 666 is Joe Sherlock and written by my good friend John Oak Dalton. And Things with a Z is again Joe Sherlock. I have seen Things 666, and I thoroughly recommend it in terms of anthologies. Great. I love anthologies. I've got a really weak spot for them. But yeah, good to have those in. And finally, in this micro-budget Blu-ray section, you know I had all of these anyway, or most of them. But I wanted them all in individual cases, because that's the kind of indulgent narcissist I am. So I did. So here are Camp Blood 1, 2, Camp Blood 3, Camp Blood 4, Camp Blood 5, Camp Blood 666, Camp Blood 7, Camp Blood 8, Ghost of Camp Blood, Children of Camp Blood, Camp Blood Kills, Camp Blood X, that's the animated one, Camp Blood 666 Part 2, and the newest one, which is Camp Blood Clown Shark from Mark Polonia. I watched them all in the last week. I know, I don't go out much. That's probably why. That's probably why I have no friends. What are you doing tonight, Dave? I'm watching Camp Blood 7. Yeah, all right. We'll leave you alone. I do have a soft spot for them, even though I can't recommend any of them to you in any capacity, especially 4 and 5, which are just some of the most atrocious movies I've ever seen in my life. They're both directed by Duncan Ferguson, who I hold no grievance towards, but I'm yet to see anything in his career of 150 movies that is to prove otherwise that he is a reputable filmmaker, because they're just atrocious. But yeah, the Mark Polonia films in this franchise are half decent, and mainly Camp Blood 7 is one of my favorites in the series. Like you care. But yeah, I was just keen. I just want those in the horror section all lined up, because I think it's a good talking point. I think it's a good talking point, and people, out of curiosity, will probably say, well, you know what, I'm going to rent one of these just to see how bad it is, and then never come in here again in their entire life. But we'll see. But yeah, I just, micro budget is my thing, and I'm just thrilled to get all those movies together there, because it means something. These people are micro budget directors, all got mainstream jobs, and so to have these films in a place like this where Joe Public can come in and just pick one at random, going to be a good thing. Okie dokie. What do we got? Oh, want to speak about this first. I get some donations. I mean, people have good intentions. Excuse me. I get people coming in with, or phoning up rather. People phone up and say, I'm getting rid of my collection. Got some really, really good stuff. Really good stuff that you'll be able to use. I have, Mrs. Brown's Boys. I have The Best of Journey on DVD. I have Top Gear Season 2. And you're like, these are of no use to me. And I say to people, look, I have everything I want. If you want to donate, I'll use the cases. But I'm starting to see some very, very clever people who are looking through the online database and identifying little holes that they think, well, I've got that, and Snips doesn't. Wouldn't it be better if Snips had it so people could have access to it? And talk about heroic, just absolutely legendary behavior. And we had one of these guys in at the weekend, Dylan, who was only a young guy. But he said, look, I've got these. I love them to bits, but you'd get more use out of them than me. And Dylan, I thought, well, yeah, that's incredibly generous, and I will absolutely put those in pride of place. What did he bring in? Because that's what you think. You think, well, what? How could I identify any films that you haven't got? I'll show you. I Am a Sex Addict. The film. He said this is a really interesting film. Cult classic, he says, featuring animation, performance by legendary French porn star Rebecca Lord, and just a unique comedy that demands to be seen. The New York Times said it flirts with bizarre with a deadpan humor. So yeah, it looks truly unique and interesting. So yeah, very cool indeed. Great addition to the library. In the Criterion collection, he gave me The Times of Harvey Milk. I mean, what a brilliant donation that is. I mean, how I didn't have this, how I'd missed getting this in is nuts. So brilliant. What a great addition. Great addition. Riz Ahmed, who of course has exploded recently with Monkey Man. His film, Mogul Mowgli. Mogul Mowgli, about British Pakistani rapper. From 2020. 2020, this film. It's out on BFI, Blu-ray. Brilliant. What a great addition. Would have never even thought of this film. I think I hadn't heard of it, so it must have just passed me by, but brilliant. And then this one, Milos Forman, Black Peter. I mean, wow. What a great addition. And Dylan said to me, Dave, you need to get more second run films in. And he's right. So that's my next project. Forget about Camp Blood 17. I'm going to really make a bit of an effort with second run because they have put out some great films. I think they were late to come to Blu-ray a little bit. But now they're well and truly on that bandwagon. I think I will go back and pick up some second run titles and pop them into World Cinema section. So yeah, Black Peter as well. Brilliant. Absolutely over the moon with those. That's a great assortment, which will fit admirably into our collection. Okay, finally. Can I just go and blow my nose? So this is going to be really, really rude. But this could be 2 seconds. Oh no, it's going to sound. Let me just remove my mic. I'll mute that out or something. Oh, good Lord. Oh, good Lord. Right. So now we have what I call the loosies, the loose arrivals that have turned up over the last week or so. And it's, wow. I mean, it's a great mix. I think it's one of the best mixes of films I've had in, to be honest. Yeah. Let's talk about gay pornography. Wait, where'd you all go? Just like 300 people reaching for their remote control. Always looking to expand this section here. It's important to do that. And what better way than with the films of Peter de Rome? Peter de Rome was the grandfather of gay porn. Who knew? I had a look at this documentary this morning, to be honest. Really, really interesting. Because it opens up in this quaint English village, like typically English, down in Kent. And you've got this old guy. He's an old guy, seems a little bit diminutive. White hair, old man spectacles, tidily dressed, and he just looks like the most docile of characters. Just a kindly old granddad character. And then you just see him grasping this big gold dildo. and you think, oh, okay. But no, lo and behold, Peter de Rome was a man with a camera, and he liked to videotape many of his sexual encounters, or the people he had sexual encounters with. And that went on to give him a body of work that was, well, very legal, but introduced him to a wide variety of people, including Andy Warhol wanted to see his films, William Burroughs wanted to see his films. Yeah, he was pretty huge, and of course he got to know Wakefield Poole, if you know who that is. But it's a really fascinating documentary put out by Peccadillo Pictures about 10 years ago. And obviously, in tandem with that, I also picked up the erotic films of Peter de Rome, which has another documentary on here. This one's called Fragments. Now, this doesn't have encounters. Doesn't have probably his most famous film is called Encounters. This doesn't have encounters, although I am getting encounters on a separate DVD that hasn't yet shown up. But I thought, well, queer cinema wasn't invented with Brokeback Mountain. There were stuff before that, so I thought, well, yeah, let's add a bit of substance to that section, and we'll get in some Peter de Rome, which is very cool indeed. Moving on, Danza Macabre is this series by Severin Films, looking at the Spanish Gothic movies. The first two box sets were hampered by a lot of regional encoding in terms of the Blu-ray, so I swerved those two. So unfortunately, I didn't really want to. But the third and fourth box set, the fourth box set isn't yet out. Third and fourth box are both region free, so I thought, well, yes, that'll do me. And it comes with 4 really nice looking Spanish Gothic films. We have Night of the Walking Dead by Leon Klimowski, who of course worked so often with Paul Naschy. Cross of the Devil is in, which features Paul Naschy. Cake of Blood, which sounds like a strange episode of Bake Off. Looks particularly unique. And also Necrophagus, an obscure delight with genuine scares. So yeah, great. Love a bit of Spanish Gothic. So yeah, Volume 3 of Danza Macabre is in now. And Volume 4 will be on its way next month from Severin. Very cool indeed. Great box set. Okay, Neil asked for this one only a couple of days ago as well. It arrived quite quickly. It is Necromancer. Vinegar Syndrome put this out a couple of years back, but late to the party, missed it. But thankfully there was a fairly well-priced Spanish Blu-ray of that available, filmed by Dusty Nelson. So yeah, that is Necromancer in on Blu-ray. One from Germany. I've mentioned this on the show before. I don't want to repeat myself, but I am anyway. We don't like peplum in this country or in America. For some reason, we're mining all Italian genre movies for horror films, for poliziotteschi films, for spaghetti westerns, lesser. All these great like post-apocalyptic Italian movies as well. All seem to be coming to Blu-ray, but we seem to be ignoring both Eurocrime, the Eurocrime era, and also the peplum era, which is strange. I thought those films would have a market. I think they have got a market, but for some reason we don't seem to be too interested. But anyway, one came out in Germany a couple of weeks back. I was keen to pick it up. It is, of course, Hercules in the Haunted World, possibly. But yeah, it is Mario Bava's film with Christopher Lee and Reg Park, who of course was the epitome of Hercules back in the day. This one goes back to 1961, is it? I think so. But yeah, Hercules in the Haunted Kingdom. maybe. But yeah, it's in now on Blu-ray with a Tim Lucas commentary as well. So yeah, very cool. Mentioned American Fiction last week on Blu-ray. The fact that it hasn't got any kind of release over here. It's absent from streaming and it's absent from physical media. Annoying. Here's another one. This is on streaming for now, but I was really keen to get the Blu-ray because we're just not entertaining a Blu-ray release in this country. I think most of that will come down to A24, the distributor. A24 seem to be just sticking two fingers up to any kind of physical media releases in foreign territories. We saw it for I Saw the TV Glow, which has still never had a physical release in this country. And yeah, The Zone of Interest is the same. Jonathan Glazer's film from 2023, multi-Oscar nominated. This is an Aussie Blu-ray. But yeah, really important to have this. Really important to have this. Such an important film. And baffling, absolutely baffling that it never got a physical release in this country. Just weird. Just don't get it. I just don't get it. But yeah, that is the Zone of Interest. Whipping through these, we have Chris Walken and Natalie Wood in... God, that's a recipe for disaster, isn't it? Chris Walken and Natalie Wood. Google it. Douglas Trumbull's film, Brainstorm, co-starring Louise Fletcher. Someone asked me for this quite some time ago, and it's absent in nearly everywhere, really. This is a Spanish Blu-ray, but we are going to say Spanish Blu-ray, as it's not a pressed Blu-ray. It's a Blu-ray R. So I don't know how kosher this is, but anyway, picture quality is great. I know you're keen, and I know you've been anticipating this quite hotly. It is Karate Warrior 4, hot on the heels of Karate Warrior 3 and Karate Warrior 2, with Karate Warrior 5 coming in September. I just love these films. They're daft, but they're incredibly enjoyable, and who knows, with the popularity of the Karate Kid at the moment and its spin-offs, this could be a go-to franchise for people. Some Dolph from the 90s that never really made it over here on any format other than VHS is Cover Up, Dolph Lundgren and Louis Gossett Jr. And we have some Fred Olen Ray coming to Blu-ray, which will go into my Fred Olen Ray section down there. It is the film Submerged, retitled in Germany as Destination Impact. We have Coolio in this, as well as Fred Williamson, Dennis Weaver, and Maxwell Caulfield. What a unique group of people. But yeah, Fred Olen Ray's film from, I think it was 2000 that came out. This one ran out yesterday to Paddy and Roxy. It is Candy Mountain with great cast. Who we got on that? Joe Strummer. Oh, Tom Waits as well. Tom Waits for No Man. Looks a really cool little road movie. Don't know what the quality is like. I think it came out on Blu-ray in America, but it was locked to Region A. I had to get the French edition of this, which is a great little DVD. But apparently the French subtitles are burnt in. They can't be removed. So that might hamper your viewing. Hopefully not. Some Criterions I picked up secondhand this week. Always on the lookout to expand my Criterion section. We have two films by Edward Yang. We have Yi Yi, which I know has been asked for a number of times by people. That's Yi Yi. I have Bright Summer Day, which is another film by Edward Yang. What's going on? So I need sleep. Some Tarkovsky. Stalker is here on Blu-ray. Certainly when Tarkovsky rents out on physical media, Stalker is the go-to film. So I thought, well, best to upgrade that. And there we go. And also we have Chaluta, a film by Satyajit Ray from 1964. I don't have many Indian films, so important I get what's available. Nice. I got asked for this the other day. Matt asked me for it, and I presumed I had it. I was convinced I had it, but I haven't. It is Theorem by Pier Paolo Pasolini. And of course, starring Terence Stamp. Wonderful. Yeah, bizarre. I've got such a large variety of Pasolini. It genuinely did surprise me that I didn't have this. But lo and behold, I didn't, which is a real oversight. But sorted now. There we go. Alex Cox. I didn't tell you. I had a guy in last Thursday. Nice guy. What's going on? I wanted to take pictures. So I thought, yeah, you go ahead. It explained to me that he was from the BFI. He was venturing home for the weekend as he was originally from Wirral. And in fact, we went to the same school. And I said, oh, well, that's amazing. And as I tend to do with most new people, I said, well, how did you find out about this place? And he said, I was speaking to Alex Cox last night, and Alex Cox told me about this place. I'm like, oh. So, brain goes over, and I think, right, shit, I need to get more Alex Cox films in. Because I've got a few, obviously, Walker and Sid and Nancy and Repo Man, all the essentials. But then you think, well, I need to go deeper. So thankfully, I managed to pick up some of the BFI editions. I've got a couple more due in the next few days. But I thought, yeah, let's start off with Straight to Hell. Joe Strummer again. Cy Richardson. Filmed in Spain. Dennis Hopper, Grace Jones, Elvis Costello, Kathy Burke. Brilliant. 1987. So I thought, yeah, we can't go wrong with that. Brilliant. And also this is twinned with Death and the Compass. So yeah, it's a great Alex Cox double bill. The box has been well and truly hammered. But I'll have to replace that. But yeah, good. Important to have these. So here they are. 2 box sets that I was really thrilled about getting in. That's the problem with having a big lunch. Don't have big lunches. Eat sparsely. 2 box sets that I was really thrilled. These have been on the list for quite some time, and I think because we've been so busy lately, I think it was just essential to get these in, because they've been asked for. And when you're building an archive, when you're building a library, it's so important to have stuff that is so culturally significant and so significant in terms of great filmmaking. One of which is this, which is the Agnes Varda collection. 8 of her films. It's not everything. But if you wanted to dip into the world of Agnes Varda, a superb Belgian-born filmmaker, maker of French language cinema, then you have 8 of her best films here. So yeah, that's great. Really pleased to get that in on Blu-ray, which is cool. The Agnes Varda collection. This, though, is probably the jewel in the crown this week. It is Descent and Disruption, Alan Clark at the BBC. This has 21 of Alan Clark's films. We started The Last Train Through Harecastle Tunnel from 1969, and we go to The Firm in 1989. Penda's Fen is here. Scum is here. Yeah, brilliant. There's also a 4-hour documentary on Alan Clark here called Out of His Own Light. So yeah, it's a great piece of work. 12 Blu-rays, and it's just an essential thing to have here. It really is. Nearly there now, thankfully. You can go home and I can go to bed. Stone, been asked for, just eluded me for some weird reason, but I thought I'd best get this 88 film Blu-ray before it goes out of print. And there we go, that is Stone. And finally, in this week's Lucy's, we have FX, double bill, FX Murder by Illusion, and FX2, The Deadly Art of Illusion. Cool. Nice little set. Great. What a week. What a week of films. That is nuts, isn't it? So again, tomorrow will be spent putting all these away somehow. Just show you this as well. As you know, last week I showed you the Night Watch collection from Arrow Video, which is great. It has Night Watch from Ole Bornedal and his new sequel to Night Watch, which I watched over the weekend. It was fine. It was good to see the lead actor back again. And it was decent. Not as good as the original, but decent. But yeah, my main bone of contention, well, not a real bone of contention, but my main thing with the Night Watch collection, it wasn't the complete Night Watch collection, because we have this Night Watch, which is Ole Bornedal remaking his original 94 film in 1997 with Nick Nolte, with Josh Brolin, and with Ewan McGregor. It's good, but probably because Dimension own it, it wasn't. What's Buena Vista, isn't it? So it's Disney. Probably wasn't a viable option. But yeah, great week, stunning week of new releases, and a stunning week of new films. I will slow down. I'm going to slow down next week, and there will hardly be any new releases at all. It'll be bare bones, and we'll just sit here in silence. No, we won't. But I might actually be able to do my little section that I promised you last week called The Unreachables, where we have a look at some stuff that's it's a little bit out of the way. What we're going to do? Oh, yeah. Not many comments this week, so I won't spend too long on them. But thank you anyway for sharing your thoughts. It's greatly appreciated. What do we have? We have Del Bongo said he's thrilled that Night of the Running Man has hit Blu-ray. Came in last week. He saw it at 3 a.m. on Sky One one night when he was awake with a fever as a teenager, and he absolutely loved it. It is a great film, honestly. Night of the Running Man, one of the best films that you never heard of from the 90s. It's great. It's really entertaining. Mark, I mentioned about renting Wormwood being one of my go-to zombie movies that I recommend to people. I do love it. I think it's great. And its sequel. And Mark agrees, says Wormwood was fantastic. Wacky, stupid, bloody fun. Great. Richard said about some underrated movies that you should stock. Ice Pirates got. Phantom of the Paradise got. He also mentioned Roadside Prophets. Yeah. Need to try and get that again. Yeah. And The Dark Backward. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Some of these films I should really go back to. But you tend to try to get certain films in a period of time, and then they get pushed to the back of the queue. And then you realize that 5 years down the line, they're actually available when they weren't a few years back. But with those two, I'm not so sure. Corey mentions how Rosa La Rose, the film I got in last week, back there, from Radiance. It's a really, really great art house film. So yeah, it hasn't rented out yet, but I'm sure it will. Richard recommends some foreign language zombie films. I completely agree. Goal of the Dead is fantastic. It's good. Cuban, isn't it? I think of Juan of the Dead. But yeah, Juan of the Dead is a great zombie movie. Yeah, brilliant stuff. Goal of the Dead is good fun. And also La Horde. La Horde, who took the Horde recently? I think, did James and Lani take the Horde recently? I think they did, and they enjoyed it as well. But yeah, that's a great zombie movie too. Some good foreign language zombie movies. Oh, Phil mentioned about the Bob Dylan film I got in last week, The Girl from the North Country. I was a bit unsure about it. I think it has rented. but he said it is literally a filmed version of the stage musical, so not really a film. Didn't know that, but pleased to have it in anyway. Good people in it. And Freddie says, great episode again. Sinners was a surprise. I went in skeptical, but I was surprised how good the movie was. Yeah. Not seen it yet, but we shall see. And yes, remember, Enemy Territory is out next week, out on the 4th of August, with my audio commentary and Matty Budrewicz, which is really exciting. Looking forward to Enemy Territory coming out. It's been one of the best, got the biggest projects I've worked on, and most exciting projects I've worked on. It'll be really cool to see that come to Blu-ray for the very first time. Because unseen in this country since the days of VHS, which is pretty wild. Right, that's it for today. I've been yawning at you, I've been sneezing, I've been coughing, I've been blowing my nose. God, what a traumatic hour it's been for you. I can only apologize. Anyway, I'm off to tidy up because there's so much to do. And yeah, rent a film. What was I going to rent? Oh, you're going to rent Howling 4, wasn't I? Good choice. Good. Well, yeah, as always, keep the comments coming in. Any questions, suggestions, opinions, etc., etc. Always good to hear from you. And thank you for watching. Next week it will be a much leaner show, I promise you. And there will be no clown sharks at Camp Blood. But yeah, thank you as always for watching. Thank you for sharing. I know Brian Sauer shared this episode this week. Thank you, Brian. It's greatly appreciated. Yeah, I will see you all in 7 days' time.